Yo, what is good everyone? It's Bino Beats and I'm a Billboard producer and guitarist from Toronto, Canada. I produce for artists like NBA Youngboy, Rod Wave, Polo G, and Scory. This channel is all about showing you guys how I make emotional melodic beats 100% from scratch. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to check out more of my videos and subscribe. Before we get into this video, I just want to start by saying thank you guys so much for 2K subscribers. This is a big milestone and I appreciate all of you. As a way of saying thanks, I'm giving all of you 50% off any sample pack in my store for the next 48 hours. Doesn't matter if you're buying one sample pack, 3 or 4, the 50% will apply to anything you put in your cart. The link will be in the description to use the discount and you guys got 48 hours. Really appreciate it. Alright, for today's video, you guys have been kind of requesting this for the past few months because I've been referencing in my other tutorials. I'm going to show you guys how I use AI to make insane professional sounding vocals that are 100% royalty free. And I know we've all spent countless hours scrolling through Splice and Arcade Vocals just to reuse the same vocal that tons of other producers have used. Or we'll take the vocals from an actual song that's already released. But then when we actually place with an artist, it's super hard to clear these samples. On top of that, not everybody can sing, including myself, so we can't just record and make our own vocals 100% from scratch. That's where AI comes in, and some of the tools out there these days are really crazy. To show you guys how I use AI to make these vocals, I'll be breaking down an existing Rod Wave loop that I had. I'll also break down a Lil Tjay loop. And then we'll take the things we've learned from breaking down those two loops, and I'll take an existing starter that I have and do a live demo of using the AI to add vocals to it. In this video, you guys are going to learn how I use ChatGPT to write lyrics for these vocals, how I use Suno AI to create vocals that perfectly match an existing loop that I have going, the exact Suno prompts I use word for word, some of my favorite settings when creating a prompt in Suno, and finally, once I get the vocals from Suno, how I take them and process them just like they're any other vocal sample. All right, so first up, what is Suno AI? Suno AI is a text-to-music generative artificial intelligence platforms that essentially allows you to make songs from scratch or add vocals or instruments to existing things you already have going using prompts. What I will say about Suno is there is a free version, but to really use it to its full potential, you need to get the paid version. One, because you'll get access to all the different vocal generation models that they have, and the free ones just quite frankly aren't as good and don't really sound realistic. But two, if you have the paid version, you can take anything you create from Suno and use it for commercial use. So for example, if I have a starter, I add some vocals to it, I can then, sell that loop kit online with that vocal in it, for example. All right, the first loop we're gonna get into is a Rod Wave loop. This one, you guys might have heard it from other videos that I've had because I've made a beat to it before. It's absolutely insane. But let me just play it quickly and then I'll show you guys the process of how I made this in Suno. Sounds so realistic. Right here is where the vocals get crazy. This part. Alright, so before I actually get into Suno, the first thing I do is I write the lyrics in ChatGPT. You can see over here, you can actually use Suno to create the lyrics, very similar to how you would get ChatGPT to write lyrics by just giving it a prompt. But the reason I like doing it at ChatGPT first is I can kind of go back and forth with it and get the lyrics perfect before I then actually do the prompt to create the vocals with the lyrics. For these particular lyrics in this vocal, I actually can't find the original prompt that I did to create them. What I'll do is I'll show you a very similar example so you get the idea of how I did it. So for this prompt, what I did is write me a happy country song about finally falling in love with someone and having them to keep you warm as the weather gets colder. And then I wrote in the style of Lily Fitz. So that's a country artist that I've been liking kind of, the music of and the lyrics. So I wanted something in a similar style. ChatGPT, it's really good to give examples of the types of lyrics you want. So you could say like Lily Fitz or Sadie Jean. But then just like that, it gave me this full song. Verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse 2, etc. So at the gist of what Suno is, it basically gives you the options to put lyrics in or create them there, and then to describe the style of the vocals you want and how you want those lyrics sung. The style is just basically a text prompt. So you need to actually give it a really good prompt to get the vocals you want it to sound like. A great way to get those prompts is to use ChatGPT. So for this particular vocal, I want it to kind of sound like Noah Kahan was singing it. So literally what I did was just go describe Noah Kahan vocal style in a Suno style prompt. And from there, it gave me this exact prompt. So warm, raspy male vocals with an emotional, heartfelt delivery, folk-inspired tone with an American accent, blending intimacy and rawness, slight imperfections add authenticity, often carried by dynamic rises from soft confessional moments to soaring passionate choruses. So before I actually generated everything in Suno, one tip I can give you guys is if you want a particular vocal to sound like it's pitched up or pitched down. For example, in a lot of rod wave or Toosii sounding loops, the vocals sound like they're pitched up a little bit. So what I actually did is I took the loop that I had here and exported it pitched down a few semitones. I uploaded that pitched down version into Suno, go to my library and find it, and click the three dots over here. And what I essentially did was click the remix edit button and then add vocal. Here's where I put my lyrics from ChatGPT. Here's where I put the style prompt from ChatGPT as well. And then when I went into advanced options, what I would do is for this particular one, I obviously set the vocal gender to male because I wanted to sound like Noah Kahan. The weirdness, what I always do is I always put this to 0%. It just sounds weird if you leave it on, and quite frankly, I don't know what it's doing. The audio influence, you always want to turn that to 100%. Basically, when that's at 100%, that's basically saying it'll 100% take into account the actual audio that it's adding the vocal to. So if you want the vocals to sound like perfectly in key, perfectly on time, you definitely want the audio influence to be 100%. Style influence, you can kind of play with this one. Typically, I leave it around 50%, or sometimes I'll increase it to like 80%. One other tip I have as well is when I go into ChatGPT and I actually got it to create those lyrics, it basically created a full song with multiple verses. When I actually go into exporting the audio and putting it into Suno to add the vocals, I want to give it a really long amount of time and put enough of those lyrics from ChatGPT in it. So then I can actually listen to them once the vocals are created and pick the parts that sound the best. So here's what it sounds like raw coming out of Suno. And you realize this is where Suno goes a little bit crazy. It won't just add vocals, it'll add entirely new instruments such as piano. It'll change the tempo, it'll add drums. Basically, it's not totally perfect where it's just adding vocals. It'll create, a whole new song out of it. So here's what it sounds like. Maple leaves are burning red. You hear the drums. Soft on the ground we tread. And even just my original guitar sounds different. I've been restless, chasing time, but yeah, like new melodic elements there. Added strings. Small town street life feels brand new. It's doing like some weird bridge here. When the only thing I'm seeing is you. Honestly, sounds crazy. When the nights get long and the air turns thin, I've got a fire in your arms to keep me in. But yeah, once you get the prompt that you like where the vocals are sounding good, you would click Get Stems and you would just extract the vocal from it. I only picked two parts of it that I really liked. Because I wanted everything sound pitched up, I then took it back to the original pitch, so the vocal ended up being pitched up 3 semitones. And in terms of effects, all I did was I added the shaper box, so it's kind of panning it from side to side just to give it a bit of movement. I added a lot of EQ. So this was a very powerful sounding vocal to give it that kind of rod wave Toosii sound. I wanted to really tuck it in the background. Because it was very raspy, harsh sounding vocals, I had to add a lot of reverb just to make it sound more emotional and tucked in the background. And here's what it sounds like with effects and pitched up. All right, really crazy. If you guys like this particular loop, you can actually get it from my new loop kit called String Theory Waves. Waves comes with 70 loops and it's regular only $20, but like I said, you guys get 50% off for the next 48 hours. So you can get these 70 crazy loops just like this one for only $10. So don't miss out and get that. Link will be in the description. All right, for this next loop, I was going for kind of a Lil Tjay Stunna Gambino type of vibe. And this particular loop that I actually made from it, it actually ended up getting placed by Stunna Gambino. It didn't make it on his most recent album, but it was only recorded a few weeks ago. So hopefully he'll drop it and you guys can hear kind of what the final product was like with his vocals on it. But anyway, so you guys know this is gonna be a crazy loop, so let me jump on into it. So what I started with is these kind of super basic R&B New York pain sounding chords. Basically, I took that, exported a bunch of bars of it, so I had a lot to play with, and then I started to writing the lyrics in ChatGPT. So to get the lyrics, I started off with this prompt: write me a sad R&B love song hook about being still in love with someone who doesn't love you back. And it started me giving me stuff. And then it said, do you want it like Sadie Jean or Giveon, Bryson Tiller, LMI? I tried, a Bryson Tiller one, add in some vocal runs. It gave me a bunch more stuff. But then I said, actually, let's turn it into a Giveon style. And I really liked the direction where it was going. And these were kind of the lyrics where I ended off using. And I even said something like, add some oohs and ahs and humming to the end. So, I'll actually take that and perfectly hum it and sing it as if it were kind of part of the lyrics. As I ended up going with lyrics that were very Giveon style, I then needed a prompt that actually described Giveon's vocals. So I went into ChatGPT and I said, describe Giveon's vocal style. It gave me tons of information. And I basically said, this is too long, turn this into a simple prompt for Suno. And it gave me this prompt, which I then put right into Suno. One thing I want to note is for my prompts, it gives you different options for the different type of version of Suno you want to use to create the vocals. I use the V4.5 Plus a lot, but you can try different ones and see how they sound. But anyways, here's what it kind of sounded like.
I'm still in love, but you don't feel the same way.
What I actually did for this particular one is not only did I know I was kind of gonna change the pitch a little bit, but I actually found for the lyrics, since they were singing super slow, I actually wanted to kind of just take them and speed them up. So put it on 2x speed. So here's what it sounds like with those lyrics sped up before changing any of the pitch to it.
I'm still in love, but you don't feel the same. Chasing your feet while you're walking away. I hold on tight.
For effects, here's what I'm using on that. Very similar last time, shaper box, reverb, bit of delay on it this time as well. And similar, just an EQ to cut out the lows and the highs. Not as much on this one because I wanted a bit more full of a sounding vocal. I then took all of that and then pitched the entire thing down a semitone as well. So I actually didn't end up pitching it down too much overall, but it still gives that kind of that dark New York pain type of feel. So here's what the final loop sounds like.
I'm still in love, but you don't feel the same. Chasing your feet while you're walking away. I hold on tight, but you slip through my hands.
When that bass comes in, it sounds so crazy.
Can't even understand.
All right, guys, the last thing I'm going to show you is a live demo of me taking a starter I already have and adding vocals to it on the spot. Here's what the starter sounds like. Honestly, stuff like this is super great for Suno. If you play something that's really complex sounding and you try to get Suno to add lyrics, if there's so many melodic elements going on, it can be hard for it to figure out how to kind of add vocals that blend with it. But I find the super simple stuff like this can be a really great way to get crazy vocals out of Suno. All right, I think I want to go for something crazy, almost like a Friday sounding vocals. Yeah, that's good. One thing is Suno, if you put in particular artist names, it won't let you do that. So I'll say, remove the word Friday from the prompt. Cool, perfect. So that's gonna be my prompt for the style. Now I need to figure out the lyrics. And a great way to do this is just like, what kind of emotion am I feeling when I listen to this loop? Like, I don't really think about like heartbreak or an emotional love song with this one. I'm thinking something more like almost like intense, braggadocious, like been through the struggle type of thing. So I'm gonna go, write me a Friday song about overcoming struggles in life, coming out on top. Yeah, honestly, that's crazy. I'm not gonna read every lyric, but like this is good. So I'm gonna go to my library, upload audio, upload. Then I'm, like I said, gonna go here, remix, add vocal. All right, so let me take the style prompt, style. Then I'm gonna take, like I said, up to the chorus, male vocals, weirdness down all the way. Sound influence, let's try something like 80. Audio influence 100%. Then I'm gonna go create. And you'll see it's loading, and instantly it always creates 2 versions. I don't know why. And honestly, if I were to keep on clicking create, it wouldn't give me the same thing every time. Because it's AI, it's just gonna randomly generate something every time. Still generating it here, but I can start listening to it. So let me listen to this one. Sounds a little crazy, but I can pitch it down. Yeah, I don't know if I like that first one.
I was fighting battles I ain't speak on, carrying the weight like I'm the only one. Late nights praying.
All right, so I'm just gonna go here, click get stems, extract vocal. All right, got the vocals in here, and honestly what I'm gonna do is just kind of go through and pick parts that I like there. So I think I got the order I want things in. Honestly, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pitch it all down like 3 semitones.
I was fighting battles I ain't speak on.
That's literally perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna take that vocal, and then I'm just gonna have my preset that I have here called Creamy Vocal, and that just has basically everything. I have another one's shaper box, EQ, bit of reverb, and a bit of delay, and kind of edit a bit.
I was fighting battles I ain't speak on, carrying the weight like I'm the only one. Late nights praying God will shine a light on me, talking to the sky like, Lord, what you want from me?
All right, one last little bit of salsa I'll show you guys. Let me make these ones unique, and I'll put them in just the next mixer track. I'll copy this over, and I'm just gonna add this one effect called Effect Rack. And this is honestly used in tons of stuff, but if you go to guitar and click this crystal choir preset and just turn the mix down a bit, it adds this crazy effect to it. Just add some weird like echo effect after it, almost makes it sound more lush and like a pad. So I'm gonna go like here. Because this is the part where after there's all the bass and stuff, and the drums are probably gonna come in, I'm even gonna take the EQ and cut out a bit more of the high. So let me just play it. Turn up the reverb too. All right, guys, I think that's enough for this loop. Don't need to go too crazy with it. But as you can see, I had the original melody done, and to add the vocals, that took me like 10, 15 minutes tops, and they sound crazy. All right, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Just a reminder, if you want loops, particularly that Rod Wave Toosii loop that I broke down first, as well as a bunch of other Lil Tjay loops, be sure to check out my new sample pack called String Theory Waves. Like I said, for 2K, I'm giving you guys 50% off any sample pack for my store, so it definitely applies to this new sample pack as well. It comes with 70 loops, so it's crazy value. You'll be able to get it for just $10. Also, be sure to join my email list, and you'll be the first to hear about when my new phrase kit comes out, String Theory Elements. The link will be in the description to join my email list. Really appreciate it, guys. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments section below what type of videos you guys want to see next. Hit me up on IG or join my private Discord server if you want to collaborate with me on loops and beats for placement opportunities. See you guys in the next one.